Prison episode first
You
time in prison.
guys, don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Also, make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel, Kafani Howard 1826. Before I get to this video, I have a prison story. But before I dive into things, you guys already know what time it is. Get over there to my YouTube channel and subscribe to support my YouTube channel. You know, I got some things that I'm about to be doing on my YouTube channel, but help make my channel grow. But, you know, I got some things that I'm going to be doing with that channel. So make sure you guys go over there and subscribe to that channel. I got a lot of content. I got a lot of good videos. You won't be bored. You know, all you got to do is just scroll down, find a nice video. You know, make sure you have you some popcorn. You know, when you having a long day from, from work. Don't forget to just subscribe over there to my channel. But anyways, back with a prison story, back with an episode. Now I've been seeing, a lot of TikTok videos, having some deep, hard times in prison. Let me tell you something. If you've never been to the joint, I don't recommend you going. You know, there's always someone going to be tougher than you. You know, prison will make you or break you. You find out you be someone's bait if you don't force that blade. Now, in this episode, I want to share when I was in High Desert. You know, I was in a Clark County Detention Center. You know, been in there for 3.5 years. You know, fighting a high profile case. You know, many of us being accused. You know what I mean? That we haven't, been accused of. But anyways, make a long story short, man. You know, being in the Clark County, detention center, man, I'm going to share this story with you. If you know who Officer Nelson is, he's an officer, that works for, Henderson Police Department. And Officer Nelson was brutally shot down, at his home. You know, the sad thing in this story, he was playing with his kid and told his kid to go in there to eat. And, Officer Nelson was, guess he was watching some TV, and there were 6, black males came and approached him while he was off duty. And I want to say this to you. They took that madness inside the jail cell. I will never forget this day. I was in, I was sitting in there, and I was sitting in the A side, and I can't never forget this day when I woke up this morning to use the bathroom. The moment that I woke up, the moment I know that there was some newspaper that's blocking, the window. And, I'm hearing guards. And next thing you know, got up to use the bathroom and flushed the toilet. And, the guard knew right away, I guess. Evidently, he knew that was somewhere by the door, just listening. And he told me, I started, calling myself to be like nosy, trying to actually see what's going on. I'm looking underneath, underneath the door where there's a good, peek hole you can see. Because, I couldn't see too much, but, they was getting ready to, to seal the top of my door, my window. So I'm sitting there trying to get a little peek. The guard said, you don't want to get shot. So I suggest you get back on your bunk. So they took that day and they took their whole frustration out. I want to say this to you. They shot in the Union, right in our module pod. And I want to say these was live rounds that they were shooting, because you can hear shells, dropping on the ground. And, we was on lockdown. Can't never forget this day because there was Black History Month, and there was, Black History Month, the day of Martin Luther King, I can remember on that whole February, that whole month of February, we was locked down. And, it was sad, it was sad that we couldn't even come out, for our free time. And, every 72 hours, they'll have to give us a shower. Because against the law, that they must shower inmates in within 72 hours. So it was sad. It was sad that I had to experience. And, I got sentenced to a 3-year, 10 for, voluntary manslaughter, went up to High Desert. I can remember there was a riot that happened in the yard. One thing, when you go in there, there's a lot of people, will call you fish when you step into the prison. I tell you something, if you're in population, you always got to have that discovery with you. There's a lot of people, first time, because this was my first time. I got to see what the yard was like. But there's a lot of people that was scared when they stepped in prison. So I told them, when they have schools and they have things you can program, make sure you program yourself. That's the first thing that people was telling me when I got to the prison. So I was able to program. Couldn't find a job at one point, but like I said, through the grace of God, I had already had a high school, diploma when I was out. So I was very educated before I even went to prison. So, it was kind of hard. Actually, it was hard because I did try to get in that school, but they kicked me out because they found out I had a high school diploma. I don't know how they found out. Don't ask me. But, from the time that I can remember that we had the riot in the yard, everyone would be, on investigation. My cellie, with him doing 25 years, he was under investigation. And they sent me to the hole for question. I didn't say nothing that I didn't know because I didn't know what was going on. At one point, I was at chapel, they do have chapel. And, they send me to the hole. And I'm doing my time in the hole until I got a full classification. They actually transferred me. I had got a little time in the hole. But they was set for me for a classification to Lovelock, where I met O.J. Simpson. I'm going to be back with part 2 with O.J. Simpson. But you guys, stay up. But be ready for part 2.